Right now, most of the world agrees on one relationship rule, one partner at a time for life. But that rule is a lot newer and a lot shakier than most people think. For most of human history, in most human societies, one partner was not the norm. So did ancient humans actually believe in the one? Or is that a fairly recent invention? The real story involves kings with hundreds of wives, diseases that reshaped relationships, and a mating system that goes back millions of years. The deep evolutionary roots. Let's start further back than ancient history even goes, millions of years, to our earliest human ancestors. Some anthropologists believe pair bonding, two individuals sticking together, may date back over 3.5 million years, possibly even earlier. One well-known hypothesis points to a fossil relative of humans, showing evidence that bonded pairs may have existed before modern humans even evolved. The theory, males who stuck with one partner and helped provide food had a survival advantage over males competing for many mates. But here's the twist. Humans never became fully, exclusively monogamous, even under this theory. In fewer than 1 in 10 animal species does exclusive pairing happen at all, and humans sit in a strange gray zone. We're built for bonding, but not necessarily built for one partner, forever, with zero exceptions. Hunter-gatherer reality. In early hunter-gatherer groups, small bands of maybe 20 to 50 people, relationships looked very different from a modern wedding. Some groups leaned toward pair bonds. Others practiced what researchers call polygyny, one man, multiple female partners. This often happened when there was a shortage of men, caused by constant warfare, hunting, accidents, or disease. In some documented tribal societies, women were reported to select their own partners freely, with fatherhood shared or decided collectively by the group. There was no concept of a wedding ring, no single ceremony, often no permanent exclusivity at all. Anthropologists call this pattern serial monogamy, pairing up for a few years, separating, and pairing again. It wasn't chaos. It was simply a different system, one shaped by survival, not romance. When civilization arose, polygamy exploded. Then came farming. Then came cities. Then came kings, and everything changed. Once humans built large, wealthy civilizations, something remarkable happened. Polygamy didn't disappear. It exploded. Virtually every major ancient civilization, China, India, parts of Africa, the Americas, even early Europe, practiced some form of polygamy among their rulers. The wealthiest and most powerful men in the ancient world didn't have one wife. They had dozens, sometimes hundreds. According to ancient texts, one legendary king is reported to have had 700 wives. 700 in a single household. Other rulers in the same era are recorded with dozens of wives and children spread across entire palace complexes. For these men, marriage wasn't really about love. It was about power, alliances, and producing as many heirs as possible. Concubines and the hidden layer. Beyond official wives, ancient elites across Greece, Rome, China, Mongolia, and Japan commonly kept concubines. Concubines were recognized partners, expected to bear children, but without the full status of a wife. It was a whole second tier of relationships, built directly into how ancient upper-class society functioned. And in rare cases, that hidden tier could rise to the very top. One woman, originally a concubine in ancient China, eventually became her country's only reigning empress, ruling in her own right for over a decade. So polygamy wasn't just about powerful men. Occasionally, it created powerful women too. Why did monogamy eventually win? If polygamy was so widespread among history's most powerful people, why did most of the modern world end up with one-partner marriage? Researchers have proposed several competing theories. One theory points to disease. Mathematical models suggest that in small prehistoric communities, sexually transmitted infections could spread rapidly through networks of multiple partners. According to this model, monogamous men had fewer infections, more surviving children, and their behavior slowly became the copied social norm, sometimes enforced by punishing those who didn't follow it. A second theory points to farming and property. As humans began accumulating land and wealth, protecting a clear bloodline for inheritance became critical, and one-partner pairing made that far simpler to track. A third, more political theory. Societies with polygamy tend to leave large numbers of men with no wife at all, since a few powerful men take many partners. Large groups of unmarried, resourceless men have historically been linked to higher social instability and conflict. Monogamous societies, by contrast, spread partners more evenly, and some researchers link this directly to the rise of more stable, more equal social and political systems. In other words, monogamy may have won out less because of romance, and more because it was better for large-scale social stability. How recent is one partner for life? Really? Here's the part that surprises most people. Strict, culturally enforced monogamy is a surprisingly recent standard. Some researchers place the widespread rise of monogamous marriage culture at only around the last 1,000 years, a small fraction of human history. One widely cited study found that roughly 85% of documented human societies have permitted some form of polygamy. That means the one partner, forever model that feels so universal today has actually been the historical minority, not the majority. It only became the dominant global standard fairly recently, spread partly through religion, law, and shifting economic systems. So what does this mean for US now? None of this means ancient humans didn't love their partners, or that modern monogamy is somehow fake. It means the specific rule, exactly one partner, exclusively, for life, was never really fixed in human biology. It was built, tested, and reshaped again and again by disease, farming, power, and social stability across millions of years. Today's version is just the latest chapter in a very long, very messy story. And somewhere between a Stone Age pair bond and a king with 700 wives, humans have been quietly rewriting the rules of love the entire time.